It's Tuesday, September 14th. It's time for your Barbados Today morning news update. A man is in custody following a high-speed chase through Dash Valley, St. George yesterday. According to police spokesman Acting Inspector Rodney Innes, officers were on mobile patrol when they signaled for the man who was driving a motor car to stop with the use of a siren, but he sped away. A chase ensued, and the driver subsequently lost control of the vehicle and crashed. He exited the vehicle and ran while holding a firearm, which he was ordered to drop but refused. When engaged by police, he dropped the weapon and continued running but was captured. No one was hurt. The gun was recovered along with several rounds of ammunition. Investigations continue. In other news, officials are maintaining that there is no shortage of resources to fight the COVID-19 pandemic in Barbados, even as they acknowledged challenges amid a surge of infections. The assurance comes mere days after the head of the COVID-19 monitoring unit, Ronald Chapman, said the Delta variant has made life much more challenging for the unit and others involved in the battle against the pandemic. Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, addressing a press conference on Monday, said his ministry was not worried about resources at this stage.
We do not have a resource problem at this point in time in relation to our fight against COVID. Yes, we've had challenges, no doubt about that, but that's the nature of the war. What we are doing at the moment is to rationalizing our operations to see if we are effectively utilizing the resources that we have at the moment and also improving in the area of technology. I can assure you that if I need additional numbers, I will get them once I put the case to the Ministry of Finance. But at this point in time, we are not worried about resources except for the fact that the nurses and the medical, clinical side of it, like all other countries, given the number of positive cases and sick persons that we've been seeing, that is challenging at the moment, but we are still managing.
Also weighing on the issue was Prime Minister Mia Mottley, who said she was unaware of any concerns. She made it clear that the central government has always responded immediately to any calls for additional resources from the Ministry of Health.
At no stage since we have come to government has my Ministry of Finance ever refused a request from the Ministry of Health for resources. The Minister of Health is here, and I'll pass it on to him so that he can confirm that once they have come to us, whether it is personnel or money, we have responded with dispatch. So I'm not sure. There's a lot of conversations going on. I wouldn't mind being part of them.
The Prime Minister also disclosed that some of the Cuban nurses who arrived here in April last year would be returning home for holiday next week. She said another batch of nurses is also set to arrive, even as government continues talks with Ghana to secure more nurses.
Anticipate that some of the nurses that will go back to Cuba, that they'll send some when the plane comes down. We just don't have the exact number. We know it will be at least 10. We also anticipated, as I said, that we are working with Ghana and expect to hear back from the Ghanaians shortly. And when I go to the UN General Assembly and to meet also with the President of Ghana early next week again. And we hope that we can do the outreach to Barbadian medical and nursing personnel, as I said, in the diaspora. I know, for example, Dr. Ford has already been speaking to 1 or 2 doctors to come in and do locums, including his mentor. So that this is an ongoing process, and it's going to be difficult because everybody is having challenges, but it is not impossible. And in a sense, that's why I'm also speaking through you to the Barbadian diaspora. We are hoping that we can have sessions with them in North America and in the UK to see some of whom may be willing to come home and spend a few weeks and also help as well.
100 teachers are to be trained by an international university to equip them with the skills and knowledge to help them to better engage their students online as the new school year gets set to begin virtually on September 20th. The teachers are to participate in an Inter-American Development Bank-funded course along with their counterparts from Trinidad and Tobago. At a virtual launch on Monday, Minister of Education Cynthia Bradshaw said, while teachers and students were thrown into the virtual classroom due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, it was clear from feedback to the ministry's monitoring committee that there was a need to urgently help teachers to better plan and develop instruction in a digital environment. Widow Andrea Harris believes that there is more surrounding the discovery of her husband's body, which was found floating face down near the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex on Sunday. The grieving woman is, however, awaiting the results of a post-mortem to tell her how 75-year-old Joseph Harris died. She spoke with Barbados today.
The police will come here now, so when they come, I will know. I will know if it's right or wrong. A man is just drunk Jessel. And the way how we see the man look, yes, when they take you to water, you know, they ain't going first, so you let them stop. And the man dark. That can't happen yesterday. That had happened Saturday night. And everybody saying one thing. And everybody thought it on yesterday.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
The news from the region. There are concerns in Guyana over the number of expectant mothers testing positive for COVID-19. More from News Source, Guyana.
Now that the number of pregnant women contracting coronavirus is on the increase, and the Ministry of Health is encouraging them to take all precautions against the virus. There are more than 125 persons currently hospitalized with the virus across the country, with the majority of those persons being housed at the COVID-19 hospital at Liliendal. A number of pregnant women are among the hospitalized, according to the health minister.
We currently have 9 maternal cases at the GPHC. Those are in the COVID section of the obstetrics ward at the GPHC. We also have 92 persons at the Ocean View Hospital. And of those 92, we have an additional 6 maternal cases. And we have 29 persons currently in the ICU.
As it relates to vaccinations, the minister announced that 65% of the country's adult population has now received at least 1 dose of the vaccines being offered, and close to 34% are fully vaccinated.
Again, we're still a far way from herd immunity here. We have to really move this 33.9% further.
And finally, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Monday hailed significant international financial support and solidarity with the people of Afghanistan at a flash appeal in Geneva, where he called for a lifeline for the country's most vulnerable.
Today, we already heard clearly more than $1 billion of pledges. It is impossible, as I said, to say how much of these will be for the flash appeal, but in any case, it represents a quantum leap in relation to the financial commitment of the international community towards the Afghan people. We are, of course, very much concerned in making sure that humanitarian assistance is an entry point for an effective engagement with the Taliban in all other aspects of concern of the international community. The letter that we received, 2 documents. UN was guaranteeing the full humanitarian work of the UN and respect by the Taliban to that full humanitarian work. And the second, they are available to provide security, to provide legal escorts when there are situations of insecurity that will justify it. So not only there is an attitude of acceptance, but there is an attitude of support.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.